Hello, everybody. I'm Jonathan Lovegrove, and welcome to Greer Tidbits. Today, I'm excited to be joined by Greenville Mayor Knox White. Thank you for coming on today.
Glad to be here, Jonathan.
Well, we are really glad to have you. And as you know, kind of my reporting focuses on the city of Greer. So let's kind of begin. What advice would you have for cities like Greer that are in the process of revitalizing their downtowns and kind of their whole city?
Yeah. Well, first, let me say I really greatly admire the mayor of Greer, Rick Danner. He and I are good friends. And there's really nothing I can advise him on because he's doing all the right things as far as I can see. All the right things in Greer, a lot of changes here. I think one of the greatest things I'm most proud of about the city of Greenville's redevelopment, the downtown, is that we are being emulated. We're being mimicked, if you will, by other communities in Greenville County. Not just Greer, but Travelers Rest is now just looking great. And same for Fountain Inn in Simpsonville. And now Malden's got a new initiative. And ahead of everybody is Greer. They picked up the downtown redevelopment story quicker than anyone else. And they're very much following the same the same roadmap, if you will, that City of Greenville followed years ago, focusing on making it a walkable community, focusing on, in their case, the beautiful new park in the downtown, soon to be joined by a hotel, just like in the early days, Greenville had the Hyatt Hotel and then the Poinsett Hotel, which were big game changers. And I think also very importantly, this is the one to watch, is the addition of residential into downtown Greer. It was the game changer for Greenville about 20 years ago, getting people to live downtown. So it's not just hotels and offices, but you also have people there after 5 o'clock and on weekends, and that makes all the difference. So when Greer gets the hotel and gets the residential downtown at a certain level, you'll see a real uptick, if you will, more than that actually, in vibrancy on the streets of downtown Greer. And of course, I should mention the streetscaping, the beautiful redoing of the downtown area, just like downtown Greenville. So these are, what I'm kind of saying is there are formulas, there are things to do. The city wants to revitalize, the city wants to be a vibrant, a place people want to be. And Greer is very much following that same that path.
Yeah, well, we're really excited to see Greer kind of follow Greenville in the way we have Parkview Greer apartments right by City Park coming in. So
Right.
about that,
Yeah. See,
things that
that
are
puts, those apartments mean when you think about the park, it's a beautiful park, the weekends and all, but when you put residents around the park, that means you're going to have people out there again after 5 o'clock in the early evening on weekends. And then you add the visitors to that. And that's when you really begin to get something. You'll see that. You'll see it change the park. You'll see it change the downtown.
yes, and we're really excited to see that change. Well, as you know, Greenville has just exploded, and you've had many of these big projects like Falls Park, other ones that you're working on currently. But I'm curious to know, right now there's the mundane things that cities do, trash collection, that sort of thing. But what are some of those projects that keep you up at night, that keep you really excited?
Yeah, well, you're right about that. And cities have to do all the basic services well, or people will not feel like they're getting money's worth. But the really exciting thing is to take it to another level, to be involved in special projects. And for me, it's been those projects you mentioned. It's Poinsett Hotel, the opening of Falls Park, moving the baseball stadium downtown, all the changes that brought. And now the one that's we've been spending, I guess, the past almost 10 years actually planning and thinking about and moving forward is Unity Park, which is along the Reedy River, and the Swamp River Trail runs right through it. And Unity Park will be some 60 acres. So this is very big, of 60 acres of new green space and new park space in the city, something I think we badly need, especially at the time we're growing so fast. So if we don't grab it now, we never will. So it's important to do this. And I think Falls Park is probably about 5 acres, 6 acres, and this is 60.
Wow.
So yeah, and so this is what we spend a lot of time with, every aspect of this park. And by the way, it's a construction site now. So on the weekends, you get down there, especially now, you'll see a lot of bulldozing going on. We're actually bulldozing the Reedy River because a large part of this is to change the Reedy River from just really what is a ditch. It's actually man-made down there. It was constructed in the 1930s, and we're taking all the way, kind of obliterating it, and building a much more approachable river and one that holds the water better too. Let me show you a little bit of Unity Park. Maybe you've seen some of this.
Yes, and
A lot of green
all the
space.
renderings. It's really so exciting to see that.
It'll have There's first a lot of green space, a lot of just open park space that people will enjoy on both sides of the Reedy River and the trail running through it. And then it also will have lots of special amenities. For example, it has a huge water. Can you see that?
Yes, yes.
Yeah,
Mhm.
water park. It's going to have multiple playgrounds for kids of all ages. And it also, let's see what else. Got lots of pictures. There's even, I mentioned the river. The river will be totally transformed. It'll be more like the Reedy River is right above the waterfall. If you think about that, we're sort of a gentle slope into the river instead of a big ditch. It'll also have a big section of wetlands. This will be kind of reminiscent of Conisty Park with boardwalks running through it and such. So a little bit of everything. So you can go down there and spend literally the whole day and the size of the park and the different things to do. And there'll be a big food court in the middle too. So you got plenty to eat as well. And all that's going on now. But it's under construction now. It'll be ready in 2 years. I think probably the summer of 2022. We should be able to open the park. We still have some additional things to do. We hope to build you've seen the pictures, an observation tower in the middle of it all. That's a 10-story observation tower. That probably will not be ready in 2022. My guess is 2023 for that. But that's our latest project. I've always got to have a good project to work on. Baseball, Falls Park. They take years to accomplish, but once it's done, people love it, and it changes the whole trajectory of Greenville.
Well, we are so excited to see that park come to fruition. So I guess my final question before we wrap up today is many people drive by City Hall in Greenville, or while they're in the park in Greer, see the big City Hall. So for those who may just be wondering, what is it kind of like working in City Hall? What's that life kind of like?
Well, most of these city halls you mentioned, both Greer and Greenville, we have a city manager whose job it is to run the operation of the city day-to-day. Mayor and city council that make the policies and set initiatives and say things like we're going to build Falls Park or we're going to build Unity Park. It's up to the city manager to make it all happen. And of course, he also runs the city day-to-day, hiring the police chief, fire chief, public works, and all that. If you ask me what goes on in City Hall every day, we have some very hardworking and dedicated people. But what you see a lot of here is collaboration. We have a lot of meetings with a lot of people all the time, doing a lot of it with Zoom now. Actually, City Hall has been closed since March. We just have a few people working in the building, and we mostly do things remote. But this is a place where you sort of bring people together to share ideas and to make things happen. If there's anything that, nothing happens around here, no new office building is built, no park is built without a lot of people being involved in it. And usually those meetings are here or they're out in the neighborhoods.
Well, thank you so much for taking the time to talk with us. We really appreciate it. And for anyone watching, I encourage you to go check out our interview with Greer City Administrator Andrew Merriman. I know you mentioned he does a lot of work, so be sure to check that out. And, thank you for joining us.
Absolutely. Look forward to talking to you again sometime. And come on down to Unity Park some weekend and check it out.
We sure will. Thank you.
Okay.